My viewers, I know you are inspired and be motivated by our programs, The Breakthrough Moment with Reverend Dr. Samson Kalama. Karibu sana, that we may continue together. Last time, we discussed about crisis and crisis management. Today, we are also continuing with that topic about crisis. As I talked about crisis, we are all vulnerable. Even I, Dr. Samson Kalama, I meet with crises in my daily routines. Crises are everywhere. And today, I am motivated to talk about on how to deal with the crisis across different age groups and how to manage them. My dear viewer, crises go across different groups of people with different ages. I've summarized or I've divided crisis. I will tackle crisis between 0 year to 12 years. I also tackle crisis between the age of 13 years to 18 years. I also go on and talk about crisis at the age of 19 years to 35 years. I also go to 36 years to 60 years. Then I will conclude with the 60 years, that's what we call senior citizen years and plus. If God has given you a grace to live for 100 years, crises are all over. My dear viewer, crisis can affect individuals in different ages depending on their lifestyle, their age, and the personal circumstances. As I have said, here is how to approach and manage crisis across various age groups. I have several suggestions. I would like to begin with 0 year to 12 years. How can we deal with this crisis between this age? We need to provide reassurance. Children need to feel safe and secure. We need to offer constant reassurance and affection. We need to keep our routines. This I mean, we need to maintain a regular routine that can provide a sense of normalcy and stability. We can also simplify our explanation. When we are explaining things, we need to simplify to the age of our children. We need to explain the situation in a simple way, in a simple manner. We need to consider the age-appropriate terms of words we use. We also need to avoid overwhelming them with too much information. Their mind cannot comprehend whatever we talk. So we need to avoid overwhelming statements, words, or information to this age between 0 to 12 years. We need also to express encouragement and allow our children to express their feeling through talking, drawing, or play. When we come to the part of management, how to manage 0 year to 12, we need to be present. Spend quality time with them, ensuring them that they feel that they are supported and understood. We need to monitor the behavior that they have. Watch for a change in behavior, such as regression or withdrawal, which might indicate they are struggling in their life. We need to create a safe environment. This age, 0 year to 12, they need to live in a conducive environment. We need to ensure their environment remains as stable and predictable as possible. Now, my viewer, we need to go to the age of 13 to 18 years. This we call it in another term, a grace period. How can we deal with this age? This age needs an open communication. We need to encourage them to have an open and honest communication. We need to have active listening. And they need us to have concern and feeling. They need to be respected, because when we offend their lines, they don't understand us. They block wars. They need to be respected and being given an independence, recognizing their needs for autonomy while providing guidance and support. We need to offer support. Be available to offer emotional support and help them to process their emotions. We need to have a model coping strategies by demonstrating healthy ways or way of dealing with stress, and encourage them to adopt similar strategies that we put across them. When we fail to do this, they build walls. They live in a secret way that you may not understand them. Then we ask ourselves, if it is so, how can we manage this group between 13 years to 18? We need to provide information by giving them a clear and honest information about the crisis and its impact. We need to help them to understand the situation without causing unnecessary alarm. We need to manage them by encouraging social connections. When I talk about social connection, we need to encourage them to stay connected with friends and supportive adults. They also need professional help. If necessary, seek help from school counselors or mental health professionals so that they can build them. They can build their understanding. They can give them the right information that is within the time. We go to young adults. The young adults begin from 19 years to 35 years. This group is a complicated group. We call them young adults. When we are dealing with them, we need to empower them with decision making. Decision making will help them to take an active role in making decisions and solving their own problem related to their crisis. We need to acknowledge their feelings. They have feelings, and we have to acknowledge them by validating their emotions and experience without judgment. These young adults, when you behave as if you are judging them, they separate from you. They distance themselves from you. So I have said we need to validate their emotion and experience without judging them. You know, they are venturing in a new zone of adulthood because they have come from adolescence. So as we conduct ourselves with them, we need to acknowledge their feelings. We need also to provide resources. These are practical resources and support networks that will help them to manage their crisis. Resources are very important. And the resources that they need practical ones that can support them, give them knowledge. The Bible says, my people perish because they lack knowledge. This group, our young adults, need us to offer practical resources. They don't need theories. They need practical resources. And also they need supportive networks that will help them to be real so that they can manage their crisis. How can we manage them? We manage this group by facilitating support groups. Support groups are very important in order to manage them. So the support group will encourage them to participate in supportive groups where they can share their new experience and again, peer support. I repeat, when we facilitate them with the support groups, these support groups are the ones that will encourage them in their participation in order to share well and open their hearts to share their experience. We need also to manage them in part of career and financial guidance. In this, I mean, we need to provide advice and resources for managing their career and financial uncertainties. Young adults, young youth adults, they are doing investments. So they need a good advisors and they need resources for managing their career and financial uncertainties. They are in a zone where they can get perturbed, they can get confused on the way. So they need a career and financial guidance in order to keep them on the lane. The other part is they need to be encouraged about self-care. In a confusion manner of venturing and young adulthood, they may not take care of themselves. They may live a careless life. We need to promote physical and mental health for self-care and practice. Now let us go to what we call middle-aged adults. This is a group that is in transition from young adults. It is an age between 36 years to 60 years. How can we deal with this group that is facing a crisis? We need to encourage them to live a balanced life. We need to help them to find a balance between managing the crisis and fulfilling other responsibilities such as work and family. They have come out from young adults and now they are now growing. They have a family, they have other responsibilities around them. So we need to help them to find a balance, not to engage themselves fully in one angle of life, but they need to live a balanced life, whereby they balance a family and the work. They need support networks. What do I mean by support networks? They need others to encourage them to learn on family matters, on friends, and on community support networks. We grow together. They cannot grow alone. So they need supportive networks that can encourage them and make them learn on matters and issues of family issues, community issues, and social groupings so that they can live a balanced life. They need also to acknowledge the stress they are going through. This is by recognizing the additional stressors they may face, such as caring for children or elderly parents. You know, this group as children, they have a responsibility to invest. And the investment they are investing is about children. And also they have elderly parents who need them to take care about them. So we need to encourage them on how to take care about these two groups. How can we manage it? They can manage it by us providing counseling, by providing a suggestive professional counseling or therapy if they are struggling to cope with the situation they are undergoing. How to live with their elderly parents, how to invest in their children. We need to provide counseling. They also have a financial stress, and they need to be encouraged to have financial planning. We need to offer assistance with financial planning and crisis budgeting. You know, they may not know how to budget the little income that they have. They need professionals. They need assistance to be encouraged and assisted on how to do their financial planning and budgeting. They also need health maintenance. You know, when they are tackling their responsibilities and activities, stress may come on their lives. So stress that comes, it is important for those who are dealing with them to manage them by maintaining physical health and manage chronic diseases or conditions. They may have high blood pressure. They may have psychosomatic problems because they are doing a lot. They need somebody who can maintain their physical health and encourage them. They need somebody who can manage the chronic conditions that they are living in. Now, my listener, we are now venturing to what we call senior citizens. Who are senior citizens? These are those who are 60 years and plus years. They are the retirees, those who have gone home after work, the senior citizen. How can we deal with this group? This group is a group whereby they are full of crisis, they are full of stress. They need safety. We need to prioritize their safety, particularly if the crisis involves health condition or environmental hazard. Some of them may go home and they have not prepared their homes. So they live in crisis because where they are going, the home they are going, the environment is hazardous. As I have said, we need to prioritize their safety. They have invested a lot in us. we need particularly to involve ourselves on our way how we can boost their health or environmental hazard. We need also, when we are dealing with them, we need to provide emotional support. When they come out from work, when they go home, they are loneliness. They experience loneliness situation. We call it empty nest. No children. They have their wives. They can also live a life where there is nobody who is around in the environment they are living in. We need to provide emotional support to offer companionship and emotional support to combat feeling of isolation. They are isolated and they have vulnerability of isolation. So they need somebody to combat their feeling of isolation. We need to simplify when we are communicating to them. We need to simplify our communication. We need to provide a clear, simple explanation because they might not understand why do we behave like this. So they need explanation of what we are doing. They need explanation, and it needs to be very clear to them so that they may understand. That's why I'm suggesting to have a simple explanation and a regular update about that situation. They are new to the new environment. They may not understand the updates. So they need somebody who can give them a regular update and about the situation they are going through. How can we manage this group? This group is a group that is wonderful. They have toiled for long years. They have toiled for a long time. And because they have come to us, we need to prepare healthy services. Some of them might have chronic problems, diseases. And we need to have a health services to ensure that they have access of necessary healthy services and medications. Some of them may be going through medications. We need to prepare access to the necessary health services and medication. We also need to have social connection to facilitate them in the site of connection with the family. Some of them are new with the situation of families. So we need to facilitate connection with the family, with the friends, and the community around to reduce loneliness. We need also to have legal and financial assistance. We need to assist them with any legal or financial matters that may arise due to the crisis they are facing. In general, my dear listener, in general, we need to stay calm when we are dealing with those age groups. We need to stay calm, maintaining a calm demeanor that will help each group to reassure and stabilize those who are around us. We need to live a life of flexibility. We need to adapt to changing circumstances when we are dealing with these groups and be ready to adjust and plan as needed across these groups. We also need to seek help. Don't hesitate to seek professionals for help or community resources to support those who are in crisis in these different ages. Foster resilience. Encourage resilience by promoting a positive coping strategy and focusing on strength as you are dealing with these age groups. You also need to communicate clearly. As I talked about in 0 year to 12, they don't need vocabulary words, bogus words. They need a language that they can understand. So we need to communicate in general, communicate clearly, and provide a clear, honest, and a constant communication to prevent misinformation and anxiety. As I conclude, by tailoring your approach to the specific group needs for each age group, you need to provide effective support and health management to impact of crisis more effectively. My dear brother, my dear sister, my dear viewer, as we have gone on how to deal with the crisis of the different age groups, if you have a question, you may use the telephone number on this screen to communicate to me. You may write in your WhatsApp and ask me whatever you want to ask me. I will give you guidance. I will encourage you, or I will refer you to another professional that we may assist together to build an age group so that it may attain the destiny that the Lord has put on them. If you have something, and if you have not understood, can you call me? I thank you, my listener, my viewer, for staying with this station to get further information. Welcome, welcome. Remember, this is a motivational and inspirational moment with the breakthrough moment with Reverend Dr. Samson Kalama. Bye-bye and welcome. Thank you.